Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's third and final video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's final video, day 10, will take us to the 30th of July. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles maybe into around a couple of weeks. We're going to have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video next 4 weeks. We're going into the middle part of August. So I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say at the first video today was our 6am upload. And we've also released a video looking at some festivals that are coming up now. The Heatwave is winding down and is nearly over. I've got a little bit of spare time, so I thought I'd have a look at some festivals today. And so if you're interested in what weather may be doing this weekend or next weekend for several festivals and whatnot, then check out that video. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Please like, share, subscribe on the video. Thank you so much, everyone. And, yeah, we'll get on with your 10 to 14 day right now. So much more comfortable, isn't it? I'm feeling a lot fresher today, I have to say. Yesterday was a struggle. As you probably gathered, if you saw yesterday's 10 to 14 day, I was really on my last legs doing that. Actually, I felt quite... Actually, at one point, I felt a little bit... I'll put webcam back on. See. At one point during yesterday's 10 to 14 day, I actually felt quite unwell. I felt a little bit dizzy, but I might faint. So it was extremely hot here, even with all the doors, windows and curtains shut. They just rocketed here in GavsWeatherVids towers. I'm sure it did where you are too, you know, so it was very, very unpleasant, and I'm pleased, you know, so thankful that it's gone. Anyway, we're waiting for the finalised numbers to come in from the UK Met. This is the latest tweet we've got in terms of highest daily max and highest daily mins. So for the UK and England and Wales minimum, 25.8 degrees at Kenley Airfield in London. These are all provisional though. Wales, Aberporth, 24.5 degrees, and Scotland, East Lothian, 21.3 degrees. They're the minimums. In terms of the highest maximums, it still looks like at the moment it's 40.3 at Coningsby in Lincolnshire. There's also 37.1 at Wales in Harden, I think that's pronounced, and 35.1, that's a phenomenal number, Scotland, at Floors Castle in Scotland. That's absolutely incredible. 35 degrees Scotland. Wow, wow, wow. But all of those numbers are incredibly impressive. They're still all provisional though. You came back saying this week's exceptional hashtag heatwave brought record-breaking temperatures across the UK. Here's a roundup of the latest figures. Quality control, importantly, quality control of these records is currently being carried out, and they will be confirmed in due course. So we're waiting for confirmation, and when we get the final confirmation, you know, from the UK Met, then of course, I shall bring you that news. But what a hot day it was. Thankfully, nowhere near as hot today, although it's still pretty hot in the east. You've got 29 degrees there at Weybourne on the Norfolk coast there. And we've also got 28 at Norwich as well. So, I mean, we're in the 80s Fahrenheit still across Eastern counties. Marham, 27. Mildon Hall Royal Air Force Base is at 28 degrees. Southend at 27, for example. A bit further west, it gets cooler though. To Westham at 19. Church Lawford, 23, Oxford 22, much more comfortable. Benson 23, Wallop there 22. And we go further west still, Hereford at 21, Shawbury at 20, into Wales, Cavalcade just 15 degrees, Real just 17 degrees, Sennybridge 18 degrees, Northwick 17 degrees, and up into the north of England, Estelmuir is at 21. We've also got Warcop at 19. Edinburgh at just 23. Aviemore at 19. And Outnahara at 15. And down into Northern Ireland, Belfast at 17. It's so much cooler and fresher today. And it is a welcome relief. I had it yesterday. That was too much for me yesterday. It was extraordinarily hot day, and thankfully we are seeing our temperatures coming down now and returning back to something a little bit more sensible. Unfortunately, we don't have an update for century and temperature. I was hoping they might have updated that today because it would have been well over 18 degrees. Or it is well over 18 degrees, obviously, but I was hoping we'd be able to see the visual sign of that, but they haven't updated it. You can hopefully you'll get an update there tomorrow. These are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles next couple of weeks. So looking at Birmingham today, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. We're still unravelling that. It's surely a hot day yesterday, so we're still, quite significantly above average, but upper air temperature comes down all the time. By the end of the week, we're going to be back to average. Into the weekend, it can get warm again, though, so quite warm over the weekend, maybe even hot down in the southeast, but not for long. Then temperatures will lower again as we get into the early part of next week, becoming a little bit cooler than average then. For the last days of July and the first week of August, possibly a little bit of a warming change. You'll notice there are one or two hot outliers appearing there again, right at the very end. These ones just here, taking the temperature back towards 20 degrees at 850 HPA. Will we get one more extreme burst of heat before it's summer done in August? You'll remember we had like that very hot day in June, on the 17th of June. We had a temperature spike then, just lasted for that one day. We've obviously had the temperature spike through July and lasted 2 or 3 days, peaking yesterday. Will we get a third and final temperature spike in August? I think that's a question a lot of people are going to be wondering. And we'll see, we'll see whether we pull up some extreme heat again in August. In terms of precipitation, it looks like there'll be a more showery period as well coming up over next week. Drier there in the closing days of the month, and then maybe showery again as we go through the final week, or the first week, I should say, of August. Temperature anomaly shall be 20th, 28th of July, coming out above average. Our extreme heat is now moving off into eastern parts of Europe, so it's actually going to be hottest in the eastern, the southeastern part of Europe, and just a little bit less hot across northern and western areas. Precipitation anomalies from the 20th to the 28th of July. Still largely dry on average, especially so for England and Wales. Latest wind from that from NorthSchool.net shows that we have changed the wind direction now. So the southerly winds that brought the hot air from Africa, they've been shoved off to our east, and now we're drawing in the wind from off the blessed Atlantic. It's not very often we say that here on the channel, the blessed Atlantic, but it has come to our rescue, at least those of us that were struggling with the hot weather yesterday. The Atlantic has been our saviour on this occasion and has shoved all of that heat away to the east. Let's overlay the temperatures, shall we? If I can find them, where are they? Where are they? Where the hell are the temperatures on there? Particulars. I can't see them, actually. Well, temp down here, right. There we go. So, yeah, you can see, I'm still a bit frazzled, actually. You can see that the heat is, like here now. The heat's been pushed off to, like, Germany and whatnot, being to get up into Scandinavia, too. So, pretty warm across eastern, southeastern parts of the country, but much more comfortable further north and west in those more temperate green colours, which is what we like to see, of course. So, the heat being moved away to the east. Right, let's start going through some chart data then. We're going to start off with the UK Met Euro run for Saturday. So, we're drawing out some warmth into the south on Saturday and Sunday, courtesy of this southerly southwesterly wind. There will be low pressure out to the northwest. That will bring some wind and rain to the northern western parts of the country, but sounds going to remain dry and probably quite warm there. And to the early part of next week, that area of low pressure then pushes through, takes weather system with it. That might bring some rain even into south and southeast, will turn things cooler and fresher from the northwest. Then high pressure pushes back in from off the Atlantic. Within cooler air, turns us mainly dry, but there will be like quite a fresh feel with that. Maybe some quite cool nights with that which we need after the recent hot tropical nights, of course. Icon looks like that again on Saturday and Sunday. Low pressure coming to northwest, bringing cloud, wind and rain. Northwestern areas, southeastern areas will be very warm with wind coming off the continent. Not for all that long though. This area of low pressure will push a trough through, and any attempt to re-establish heat will quickly be swept away by the early part of next week. We're going to like a cooler northerly, northwesterly type flow before high pressure then reaches back in off the Atlantic, telling us mainly dry. But again, that will be relatively cool as the wind coming around area of high pressure is from more of a northwesterly direction. GFS midnight run again looks like that. So over the weekend we're going to have this area of low pressure out to west. I'll bring some cloud rain to the west areas. Meanwhile in the southeast we're having a go, but pulling hot air back in from the south, but not for all that long. That's pushed away quite quickly by Monday. I think Tuesday we go into these cooler sort of northwesterly winds with showery conditions in the north. Middle part of next week, see a ridge of high pressure extending in off the Atlantic. That should bring quite a lot of dry and relatively warm weather with it, and that takes us to day 10. The high pressure is ridging through the south and across Ireland, bringing lots of dry and increasingly warm weather then, still a little bit showery in the north. The same range, the GFS midnight run has to go at getting warm and bring this funky low up from France, but it's all a little bit inconclusive really. There's no sign, certainly up to the end of the GFS midnight run, gets us to the 5th of August. There's no sign of a return to anything excessively hot there. GFS 6Z, again, looks like that. Over the weekend, we'll have showery conditions in the northwest with this area of low. Meanwhile, in the south and southeast, it will be very warm for a time over the weekend, particularly Sunday, and we're having a go at pulling heat back in from the south, but it doesn't come off this time, really, as the low pressure just rolls through and pushes that away very quickly. Next week, we're into like this showery, a rather cool west to northwesterly flow. Then again, high pressure later next week, reaching in from the Azores, bringing a return to dry and increasingly warm weather in the south, still a little bit on the showery side up in the north. Heading on into the very extreme range with the GFS 6Z, all sort of high pressure influences, so relatively warm and dry actually through the first week of August, not excessively hot, but relatively dry and warm there through the first week of August up to the 5th of August, which is as far as we go with the GFS 6Z. If you enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that, and drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much. Right, the GM again on Saturday into Sunday brings this area of low pressure into the northwest, up in cloud, rain there, relatively dry and quite warm in the south and southeast. So early next week, that low pressure pushes through the country, taking showery conditions and bringing cooler northwesterly winds. Early next week, high pressure, or middle next week, I should say, high pressure ridges in off the Atlantic, turns us drier with that ridge of high. And as we get to day 10, actually high pressure sitting over to the east of the country, bringing the wind off the continent, so that should be quite warm, maybe even relatively hot again, with a lot of dry weather, not excessively hot though. And then the ECM WF once more over the weekend, showing cloud wind rain for low pressure into the northwest and southeast. Should have a lot of dry and pretty warm weather. Then early next week, that low pressure pushing through the country, we turn cooler and showery with winds in from the northwest. Heading up towards day 10, the ECM looks like that, brings quite a bit of dry and increasingly warm, maybe quite hot weather into the south. Meanwhile, further north and west remaining rather cooler and more showery once again. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from threadshare.com. Could be some heavy showers around today. Got a classic funky breakdown from the heat wave, but there will be some downpours and whatnot around here and there. And over the weekend, a little bit on the showery side as well, especially for northern and western areas with some cloud rain. Always the driest weather though in the south and in the southeast too. And then heading on into next week, of course, high pressure more influential, so lots of dry weather in the south and east. Rain tend to get pushed away to the north-northwest. There's not much sign of rain in the south and east, I have to say, so the prolonged dry spell is set to continue for the time being. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10, which gets us to the 30th of July from the Icelandic Met Office. 26 members of the ECM ensemble, including control of the operation run, have low pressure way to the northwest, but high pressure still ridging in from the Azores, bringing lots of dry and pretty warm weather into south. 15 have high pressure right over top of the country, it can be dry and very warm, and then 10 have high pressure reaching through the country and going northwards as well. So that's going to be dry and very warm too. That will be tending to bring the wind in from like an easterly direction too. So it's basically a 50-50 split really. If you take like the 15 here and the 10 there, that's 25, that's looking dry and very warm for the end of July, and then 26 here, but just a little bit more showery. But even there, relatively warm actually down in the south. And then 2 weeks time, these are the options that we've got. This one will go to the 4th of August. 14 members of the ECM ensembles with a ridge out to west and like a showery trough to east and northeast. 14 with low pressure over to the east of the country and high pressure in the Atlantic. So again, that looks pretty cool and showery. Another 14 with low pressure to the northeast of Scotland. Again, a bit of a mid-Atlantic ridge. That could be rather cool and showery. And then 9 just here looking quite strange with low pressure to west of Ireland, but high pressure over Scandinavia and over France. That's probably the hottest option. That could be really quite hot. That could bring up wind from the south, you know. And it might be funky though with low pressure to the west of Ireland. So that's like the hottest option, but only 9 going in that direction. Lastly, the CFSV2 is a 500 millibar height anomaly, bring down into weak periods. The first week period can take from the 20th to 26th of July. The coming week will have high pressure over to the east of the country, and we'll be bringing up some very warm air from the south at times, but nowhere near as hot as it has been, of course. Week 2, being the 27th of July to 2nd of August. High pressure main just to our southwest. Low pressure is away to the north. Winds in like westerly direction, so rather showery and possibly a little bit on the cooler side with that. Week 3 is going to be the 3rd to the 9th of August with high pressure again just to southwest. Low pressure towards Iceland, so probably all rather slack, maybe a little bit showery. And then week 4 showing quite a significant change again. GFS has been quite consistent about this at the moment. It's a 10th to the 16th of August with a big ridge of high pressure then appearing towards Scandinavia. That will pull the wind into the east and could be very warm, maybe even hot with that as we go through the 2nd week of August. Not necessarily extreme heat, but I don't think that will bring the air up from like Saharan Africa, like we have done over the past couple of days, but that, you know, that could be like a very warm, too hot scenario, sort of like low to mid 30 Celsius sort of thing, with loads and loads of sunshine. But it's 4 weeks away, so it might not verify. Right, if you enjoy the video, then please you like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much everybody for doing that. Don't forget to tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. And drop a comment, let us know what you think about all of our videos. We've only got to put on around another 15 subscribers to get our first 100 within 14k, 14,100. Can you believe that? We only hit 14k the other day. I think it was Sunday. And here we are, you know, we're put on our first 100. So there's so much interest lately. Welcome to new subscribers, you know, whether you subscribe for Glasso or whether you subscribe for the Heatwave information and whatnot. However you found us, you know, thank you so much for the subscription. And we hope that we can keep you informed and maybe entertained too with all things weather and occasionally non-weather related. Thank you so much. Okay, we're done then for today's video. So much more comfortable. I am relieved, I have to say. I'd had enough of it yesterday. So I'm gonna head out into the garden, I think, and do a little bit in the garden and get some fresh air and nice, comfortable feel. And I'm going to enjoy myself, I think, through this rest of this afternoon. You enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow with 6 AM upload, the European Outlook, and the 10 to 14 day as well. For this one, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.